First, we're going to cover paperback books and make it covered with easy cover. So first thing you do is measure to see what size you're going to need. And this measures at 11, so we would need to use the 12. We don't have 11. They go by 2-inch increments, pretty much. First thing you do, there's 2 parts. One has a narrow strip that you put on the back of the book, and the other one has a flap that you put on the front of the book. So you take it and lay the book on the cover that goes on the back, and about 3/4 of an inch past the edge of the strip edge.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you put the book down, and it's about 3/4 past the spine of the book. That's because it's rigid and it doesn't wrap around like the front cover will wrap around. So that's why the book overlays the cover a little bit. Then you mark where you're going to need to cut, since it won't fit exactly. And get your scissors. Cut it. You try to get it as close as possible, so then you have the least amount of trimming to do.
Okay.
Then turn your book over to the back. The side with the flap goes on the toward the bound part of the book.
Okay.
And you line up the edge with the book, the open part of the book, the page part. And see, so that's going to fit pretty good. So you take off the flap strip so that you can anchor it. And then take off the back, cut the lining, and squeeze it down. The idea is try not to have bubbles in your cover. That's pretty good. It's going to need a little trimming though, so I use the trimming scissors and try and get it as close to the cover because it's sticky, so you don't want it hanging over.
Okay. You take the front cover on with the flap, and this time instead of putting it over the edge of the cover, you put it onto the flap. There's the non-flexible side of the cover, so you put the book over that and onto the flap a little. And mark it. See if it's going to fit fairly well. Take the flap off, the covering of the flap, and line up your book. Make sure there's no bubbles, and then wrap it around the back of the binding of the book. And anchor it. And then you take off the lining of the front. And use
the squeegee if that's what's comfortable for you to use to keep the bubbles out.
Okay.
And a little trimming. And that's basically it for a paperback book. Hardcover books with dust jackets. You take the dust jacket off. First measure the book and see what you're going to need. This is not quite 9.5. Well, it's a little, so our 9.5 will be a little short, so we'll go to a 10. And kind of stretch out the creases a little bit. And then get your book covers, and these are on a roll, and measure the book cover, and I let the flap out a little, just a little over the book cover, so you don't have to trim a lot. You don't have to trim basically at all. Then you only have to mark this one side, and you trim it. I use this board because it's easier to get the jacket between the liner and the cover.
Okay.
You have to make sure that you get it up to the top so there's no white showing the cover. And you leave the liner in the book. Once it's up there, then you turn it up to the edge of the dust cover, and it's perforated, so the knife, and just cut off the excess. You fold up the rest of the cover, so all you cut is the liner. You just shorten the liner, fold up the cover, use the book tape, and tape it in a few spots, about 3 or 4, like that. And then you put the book on it, and put the flap around. Do the same to the back. And then you need to tape the flaps. And you tape the inside here, and then put it here on the book and not the cover, so
Okay.
that there's no tape on the outside of the book. You do that for all the sides, and that's it.
All right.